Welcome back, everyone, to our channel. I'm Stoner.
And I'm Lush.
This is Stoner and Lush. Today we are going to talk solely about Star Wars.
Talk about the original trilogy first, obviously the most iconic, started it all, and just the amazing things that George Lucas did to make this movie in the first place. Creating technology, creating THX sound and whatnot for this movie in general. If you dabble into the history of it, some of the ideas originally for the original trilogy, you'd be like, why would you make that decision? And then they change it. Like Luke turning to the dark side at the end of the trilogy was an original idea. But then they thought they can't sell toys if Luke goes bad. So they kept him good. While making this, because it was all one long story, and he knew he couldn't make the entire movie, so he cut it down to that first section as A New Hope. But he needed a backstory for Vader. So he had kind of came up with the whole Anakin, the prequels kind of then. Not detailed as much as we got, but you know, the idea of it all was already all there.
I grew up with the original three, and then they had so many, shows, prequels, whatever. I like the original three.
Yeah.
I like it. And I love Chewbacca. He's the reason I watch Star Wars. So if he's not in it, I probably won't like it. Like, everybody loves Rogue One. I can't stand it. There's so much dialogue.
Oh, really?
So much dialogue. It's insane.
What I loved about Rogue One is that end scene where you get to see Vader taking out a bunch of rebels, trying to get to the plans that they stole, and then finding out that Princess Leia's ship was inside this bigger ship, and they take off with the plans moments before, just a few days before A New Hope happens when they catch back up to them. I love that, seeing Vader in that very destructive, just going down the hall, taking out guy after guy after guy after guy. No wonder they're all trembling when they get boarded at the beginning of A New Hope. It gives more oomph to that opening of that movie, right?
Yeah.
So I really liked Rogue One, and again, as well with Rogue One, the Andor TV series, which I have not finished season 2 yet. I know I should have, but I know it's all leading up to the Rogue One movie because, well, we all know what happens to his character.
I don't dive deep down like you do. Like, so much, about like the Clone Wars and stuff, and I'm like, I've never even attempted to understand what that was.
Yeah.
I'm a like typical Star Wars fan. I like it. I like some of the extensions and things like that. Like, I really liked. I know everyone hated Force Awakens. I thought it was pretty good, but wasn't a fan of the TV shows except for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
I don't remember exactly what it's called, but that one I liked.
Called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That one I liked. The other ones I just couldn't get into it, I guess.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. What I really liked about the Obi-Wan show is you got to see Vader and Obi-Wan face to face for the first time when Obi-Wan didn't realize it was Anakin in the suit because he assumed that Anakin died on Mustafar when he left him there. I don't think he realized that this Darth Vader was Anakin in the suit until that moment. And then, that whole conversation back and forth was fantastic. I loved it. You weren't my failure, Right. You didn't kill Anakin, I did. I am what remains, just so good, adding to the whole bigger picture of it all. But the thing about the old ones that I don't like is the lightsaber scenes are just too, it's fencing. They're not as extravagant as they make them later in the prequels and whatnot. But there is, for anyone who wants to see it, there is a reimagining fight scene between old Obi-Wan and Darth Vader from A New Hope on YouTube that you can look up. Just look up Reimagine Vader versus Obi-Wan, and you'll find it. Hands down, it's, I'm watching the movie, I'll pause the movie at that fight scene. I'll go on YouTube, I'll look up that, I'll watch that, then I'll continue watching the movie because that's the fight scene we should have gotten. which also correlates more with the fight scene we see in the Obi-Wan TV series. But that being said, that's what I loved about the prequels, all the lightsaber battles. I think even in Revenge of the Sith, I believe that fight scene at the end is still the longest running duel fight scene in film history, I think. But it also correlates over 2 fights, Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then you got Yoda versus Palpatine. A good section of the movie is that massive fight, which was longer and they cut it down. That fight was actually going to be, I think, a lot longer. And getting the Chancellor at the beginning of the movie actually would have taken up half the movie if they kept all the original stuff in. It was supposed to be a massive part of the movie. They shortened it down.
How long is it? Uncut.
I'm not really sure exactly how long it is, but there was supposed to be a lot more. I've seen some deleted scenes from it, and I can see why they cut it down. It didn't need to be, the majority of the movie, honestly. What do I think about 7, 8, and 9? Well, I bought them. I watched them once, maybe twice. That's about it, Very disappointing what they did with Luke's character. Rey just the first movie just seemed like a remake of A New Hope, and then Rey's character just, how did she learn the Force so quick? Like
she's a Jedi.
But she's Palpatine, and here's the other issue, which a lot of people will agree with. She's Palpatine's niece or granddaughter or whatever, but yet then she takes on the Skywalker name at the end. You didn't earn that Skywalker name. Now, I've had heard rumors that they are going to remake 7, 8, 9. But then I've also heard rumors that they're going to continue on with Rey's story. So I don't know what Disney is doing. And I think the only reason that there's talks of remaking 7, 8, 9 is to make it better for the fans. But let's face it, you're not going to have Carrie Fisher in it. And Harrison Ford is not coming back to do it again.
No.
Because Harrison Ford wanted his character dead in Empire Strikes Back.
The freaking kill scene in Force Awakens when he dies. Excuse me. Did you hear how my Chewie cried like that?
I know, right?
I was like,
heartbreaking.
I was more concerned about Chewie. You could feel his heartbreak. Oh my.
Yeah.
I did have to say that, and we did talk about it before, how Family Guy did a really good job of covering all the films. But I liked how they took every character and really just nailed it. Like Joe with no legs was Jabba the Hutt. You never see Jabba the Hutt walking around.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Meg always being like something gross, like the monster in the trash pit, or the monster in the planet that they fly into its mouth thinking it's a cave. They chose like each character's spot perfectly.
I thought they did such an amazing job with that. That's one of my very favorite episodes, is the Star Wars episodes of Family Guy.
Another new theory that has arisen: the namings of all the movies. Now, based on what happens in each movie, the titles of them can be reversed around. And this isn't just making new titles, it's taking the titles and reworking them into different ones. So episode 1, instead of it being A New Hope, would be The Rise of Skywalker, because Luke finds out his lineage and, rises up to the occasion. Episode 2, the Sith make themselves aware again, or allow themselves to be known. So Revenge of the Sith, they're coming back. They thought they were extinct for thousands of years. Here they're back, Episode 3, Attack of the Clones, because that's when the Clone Wars are happening. Episode 4, Return of the Jedi, because Rise of Skywalker. It wasn't Luke. It was Anakin finding out he was Force sensitive and stuff. My bad. Because Return of the Jedi is when Luke finds out his lineage and takes up the mantle of becoming a Jedi again when there's no Jedi around. And then episode 5, The Force Awakens, because the Force awakens in Luke while training with Yoda how to do all these Jedi things. And then episode 6 would be The Last Jedi, because Luke at the end of it by Anakin dying and Palpatine, Darth Sidious going. He's the last Jedi. And episode 7 would be The Empire Strikes Back, because the New Order is the old Empire and they're attacking again after years. And episode 8 is A New Hope, because Luke starts training Rey to be the new Jedi, because there's still like no Jedi around. And then episode 9, finding out that Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, is still alive through cloning and using the Force. He's the Phantom Menace, because he's the one behind it all. That's just a fun way to rename all the movies, but yeah.
That was so interesting how that all came together, and I was like, man, is that like a conspiracy or something? Did George Lucas do that on purpose?
Maybe. And there's another fun theory. It's a different ways to watch the series. Now, a lot of people like watch it chronologically, so they'll watch episode 1 all the way up through 9, as if you were opening the book at the very beginning and starting at the opening. But I like to watch it. I like to start off with episode 4, A New Hope, and then episode 5, and then and the end of episode 5 is when you find out Vader is Luke's father. Then I like to go flashback to episode 1, 2, 3, sometimes throw Rogue One in there, and then proceed to do number 6 after that.
My Ryan is going to be in an upcoming Star Wars film. I think it's something Starfighter or something like that.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to have any of the original Star Wars characters. It's just like an extension of, it's not going to be,
The universe is vast. Many stories can be told of many characters, so yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I hope he's in a really cute like flight suit or something.
Without people, obviously people that are watching this have probably seen Star Wars and hopefully agree with some of the things we said, or maybe have their own theories or whatnot that they'd like to share with us, or stories that they know. Hit us up in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. May the Force be with you.